Halle Berry's upset, folks. So Halle Berry is upset because she believes, okay, and Rob, I don't know if you have the story or not. She believes child support, if you want to zoom in, Rob, child support is extortion after having to pay her ex $8,000 a month to her ex-husband.
Weird.
Go to the next story, Rob. Okay? She believes it's extortion, and this is a vanity.
I find it monumentally hilarious that these systems that men have complained about, often calling them unfair, such as a child support, it's not until women who have fought for equality get put under the exact same systems that they'll describe these systems as things such as extortion. Y'all screamed equality from the rooftops and subtly find it unfair when that equality now comes with a price tag. Shout out to Halle Berry, who's out on these internet streets complaining about her child support payments. Let's review.
One of the stories I'm going to talk about is Halle Berry's upset, folks.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Okay, so Halle Berry is upset because she believes, okay, and Rob, I don't know if you have the story or not. She believes child support, if you want to zoom in, Rob, child support is extortion after having to pay her ex $8,000 a month to her ex-husband.
Weird.
Go to the next story, Rob. Okay? She believes it's extortion, and this is a vanity. Can you actually go to the story, Rob? Actually go to the story, because there's so many angles to take
We got one,
this.
boys.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
it's not even that. There is so many layers to this, Rob. So this is an older story, but Halle Berry compares paying child support to her ex Gabriel Aubrey to extortion. And if you go to that, Rob, I think another story came out from Hello Magazine about a month ago that says inside Halle Berry's custody battle, I'll send you the story here from Hello Magazine, that it's no longer $8,000 a month. Apparently now it's $16,000 a month. But I'll send this to you, Rob. Right there, you have it. Okay, let me see if that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, zoom in a little bit. So check this out. Oscar winner, known around the world, Catwoman. But at home, she's mom to two children, Nala and son Maceo, the actress who turned 59 on August 14th, welcomed daughter Nala with the ex-boyfriend Gabriel Aubrey, 11 years old. Go a little bit lower, Rob, to the $16,000. Can you find where it's the $16,000? What's the date on this article, Rob, that you have?
This was...
I think one was this one. The other one was 2021.
Yeah, but
August 15th of 2025.
August 5th. Oh, go all the way to the bottom.
Right there.
In 2014, Halle was ordered to pay by a judge to pay $16,000 a month to child support. A figure she has since slammed as extortion and managed to slash to a lesser $8,000 a month, plus a percentage from her annual earnings.
Wow.
But what is amazing about the story is this is what men go through, okay? Now, Rob, does she take care of the kids? Does she have custody of the kids full time?
Before they answer that, back in 2022, it was reported on Yahoo News that at $16,000 a month, she claimed that it was extortion, and it was reduced inevitably from $16,000 to $8,000. So if the Instagram post that we originally looked at is accurate, she's back out here saying that $8,000 is extortion, then this is probably another bid to lower support. Now, child support is calculated off of income, not net worth. So the original $16,000 a month payment was based off of her 2012 income. And back then she was still doing X-Men's, making $400,000, $500,000 per month on average. And as she's aged, we've seen her less and less, which means more than likely that she has less net income. Now, any reasonable person on this planet is like, between $16,000 a month, $8,000 a month, you do not need all of that money to raise a child, which has been men's argument since child support has been a thing. But I just find it so hilarious that the same movement that she's fighting for is exactly what she's complaining about. Women don't owe you shit. Well, Holly, you owe child support, so you better pay the hell up.
Can you check that there? Because there's a lesson here. Does Halle Berry have custody over her kids? 100% custody over her kids. I'm curious to know what the story is here. Because to pay $16,000, Tom, goes to current to two joint and physical custody. Berry petitions as to control this education, therapy, and tie-breaking. Her older daughter Nala is co-parented with her ex Gabriel Aubrey under joint custody. So she's paying him $16,000. Now she's paying $8,000. Can you go to Gabriel Aubrey? Let's see who he is. Do you guys know who he is? Adam, do you know Gabriel Aubrey?
Super good-looking guy that was able to hold down Halle Berry.
But is he like an actor? Is he?
I believe so. We can fund that.
He's
I
a
think he's a
Canadian
model. I believe.
model.
Yeah.
He's making like $200K a
Aubrey
year.
is one of
100 years
9
ago.
siblings, so he's modeled for a bunch of different things. And did they get married or just
Yes.
partner?
Well, I believe they would get married if he's paying
Personal life
alimony.
robbery. Yeah. Well, what do you, Adam? I want to come to you with this one because I figured there's something you want to say about this one here.
Well, let me just say, Gabriel Aubrey, respect to you. If you go after the literal hottest woman in the world that everybody's going after, every dude's looking for Halle Berry. Even Shaq tells a story about like Halle Berry came to the game, he couldn't even play, and you get her to marry you, have kids with her, and you flip it, and now she's paying you alimony and spousal support. Tip of the cap to you, bro. Major respect. But the reality is what she's experiencing is what 98% of men experience. Because 98% of men are the ones that pay alimony. I believe it's 80% of women file for divorce, and I think that number even goes higher as they have a college degree. And then I think child support, I think men end up paying 90% of the time, 85, 90% of the time. There it is right there. Only 3% of alimony recipients were men, meaning
well,
Halle
she added to
Berry-
that statistic,
Exactly.
so good for her.
So
yeah.
the most likely way for women to become billionaires, as an example, is divorcing a billionaire. They don't build companies. They build babies. They build families. Respect, I love you ladies and all like that. But the reality is only very successful, rich women like Halle Berry, like Oprah, are the ones that have to deal with something like this. Who was the famous? Was it, it wasn't J-Lo, it was Oprah. I mean, there's only a handful of women that this, that basically had to pay alimony. And they're like, why am I paying all this money? And like the famous quote was the guy being like, welcome to our world, baby.
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
And that's the sad reality of this, is that women, and here's the challenge that women are actually going to face. Now that women are starting to earn more, and the pay gap is sort of being equalized, you're going to see a lot more of this is probably going to happen.
Well, and it's always equal rights until the bill shows up.
But not to this extent.
All right, I'm going to wrap up with
Why was this something that you wanted to discuss?
I think it's a good story to say that here's what men go through, that this is what men typically do. And it's happening to women to know what it feels like. Yesterday, I'm sitting there with Tico and we're going through stats, and Tico starts giving me these stats. I'm like, oh, Tico is so funny. Like at any point, you're going to get any kind of stats from that guy. But you know what the stat was?
What?
That we went through? Here's a stat. Okay? I'm going to read this off to you, and I want you to think about it. When feminists say they don't need men. You ready for this? When feminists say they don't need men, 96% of construction workers are men. 95% of electricians are men. 95% of plumbers are men. 98% of carpenters are men. 94% of HVAC technicians are men. 97% of mechanics are men. 96% of welders are men. 91% of truck drivers are men. And we know what the other 90%
Damn right, Marge.
Yeah.
Large
97% of roofers are men. 95% of oil rig workers are men. 90% of machine operators are men. 85% of network engineers are men. 91% of mechanical engineers are men. 86% of civil engineers are men. 96% of firefighters are men. 85% of police officers are men. 80% of military personnel are men. 90% of pilots are men. 94% of train operators are men. 92% of forklift operators are men.
Wow.
Those are some stats right there. Can you feel like the stats just make you feel better? But the funny thing is that they don't complain about equal opportunity for those positions. Oh no. The complaint is of equal opportunity within the C-suite. Interesting. The uncomfortable truth is that the system wasn't challenged and has long favored the women's side of the equation. But now that it's finally balanced in some of these cases where the income of the woman outpaced the man, now it's being challenged. Now it's being called unfair. Now it's being called extortion. And there's many of them that weaponize the system to keep the other parent in line or to control them.
Some of the riskiest jobs in the world.
What about a foreman, Pat?
These are
What
some of the
percentage are
riskiest jobs.
foremen?
Well, there's a 3%. And if that foreman that you meet,
There's always a 3%.
which, by the way, this leads me to James Brown was right when he said this is a man's world,
This
but
is
it
a
would be
man's
nothing
world.
without
Not
a woman or a girl. And there is some truth behind it.
The challenge that women have to understand is there's a big difference between in your life and in society. Yeah, I don't need no man in my life. Okay, great. But without men in society, society crumbles. Like, look no further than what's going on in Ukraine. Sorry to call out my beautiful Ukrainian babies that are living in Miami now. Men in Ukraine are dying on the front lines, where women from Ukraine are now living in New York and Miami and living an OnlyFans type of existence.
So
that's the difference that you don't fully understand.
This is it. And you know what's the most simplest thing men want? They want respect and appreciation. That's what they want.
Easy.
Ladies, fellas, you got to earn it, though. You can't just wake up and say, why can't you just respect me? We got to earn it. That's our job to earn it. But ladies, if you got a guy that's doing his part and he's working his ass off, providing, giving an incredible life, give the man some respect and give him some appreciation. Because if you don't, God forbid, there's going to be some consequences.
At the end of the day, Halle, pay the man what he's owed. You made a choice, and that choice comes with consequences, all right? Men have been told for eons now to man up, take responsibility, be a real man. Well, Halle, be a real woman, all right? You must be held to the same standards because that's what you fought for, all right? Keep in mind, by the way, that although this is happening to Halle, this is far the minority from a gender perspective. Meanwhile, you know what else that we're combating? They have these newfound divorce lawyers that are coming out with these Instagram pages that are giving advice and strategies to women going through a divorce to maximize their monetary results from the divorce. Oh, copyright. Now, read this on screen. Now, this comes from one of these said pages, okay? Married 9 years, filed for divorce, biggest financial mistake. Married 9 years, 1 year short of getting half of his Social Security benefits in retirement. Your lawyer never mentioned waiting 1 more year could mean $1,500 more a month for life after 62. This cost you around $360,000 in retirement. Avoid this mistake. Ma'am, how effing diabolical do you have to be to recommend or to have women stay in a marriage longer to maximize their retirement? This is absolutely fundamentally disrespectful. Now, the thing is that on the flip side, there is not content. At least I haven't seen it. Email me if you find it. All right. There is not content giving strategy on Al Gore's internet to men on how to maximize their divorce. This is disgusting, manipulative, and downright immoral, and why so many men are rationalizing marriage to begin with. This is why they say men are in love, women are in lifestyle. Dare they not lose the lifestyle that they were once in? And the fact is that these rules incentivize divorce because they can keep the lifestyle, although they weren't the ones shooting in the damn gym. Anyway, Halle, pay up, baby. That has been your content for today. I appreciate you guys for coming through and rocking with me on this discussion. I'll leave a link down below for the PBD podcast if you guys want to go check out more links. But yeah, tell me what you think down below. I think we should continue to have these very important discussions going into the future. And shout out to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Guys, go click on that link down below. Not only does it support the channel, but it supports yourself, removing your private information off of these public websites. Use my link for a 14-day free trial, at least to see if you have been exposed. All right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.